is the Sports Central Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Central Podcast. Jaime Maggio with our guest today, Anze Kopitar. Thank you so much for doing this with us. First things off the bat, how many times have you heard your name butchered? Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Anze.
Yeah, very close.
Close.
No, but it's honestly probably the best in the U.S. that I've heard. So.
Well, then I feel good about it.
Yes, you should.
How bad have you heard it? What are some of the best ones you've heard?
I've heard it all. I've heard Ange. I've heard Anze. I've heard. Actually, the biggest one is usually Andre from right off the get-go.
Really?
Yeah, and I play along too sometimes. You know, you meet new people and. You know, you figured you just have a little bit of fun, so I play along.
And the spelling, do they get the spelling right, or?
Spelling is a little bit harder for them too. Yeah, I think pronunciation is a little bit better, but it's funny because my daughter Nasia, and everybody gets her right, then it's the same letters than I am. So I guess it's just getting used to it now, and I guess being used to it so far.
So you bring up family right off the bat. I love that. It was National Dog Day this week. Did you guys add a new dog recently?
Yeah. The little Harvey's his name. And yeah, we got him, a week ago now. So we figure the more the merrier.
That's a full house.
Yeah, no, Gusto's getting up there. And we brought in, I guess, a brother of his last year. And he almost had too much energy for the old man. So we figured we need another one just to kind of equal everything out. And now he gets his own piece, but he's still in charge at the house, that's for sure.
Who's in charge of naming the dogs?
I think it's just kind of like a family tradition to do it. Gusto was brought up by me just because it kind of means like goofball. You'd call somebody a Gusto if he's a goofball in Slovenia. And then Gordy, we all like Slapshot movies, so we figured Gordy, and after Gordy Howe. And then Harvey just stuck. We kind of stumbled upon him, and the breeder already named him Harvey. And me and my wife were a big fan of Suits TV show, so we were going to go with that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Family affair over the summer. You guys go back to Bled.
Yep.
In Slovenia.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite videos, truly, from the summer was you guys on the golf course and you being presented with the Lady Byng. Take me back to that day.
Yeah, it was funny because we were in touch with, I guess, the Kings production all summer, to where they were playing it off that they want to come over and shoot some stuff of what we do and this and that. And I had absolutely no idea that this was going to happen, right? And then I kind of threw out the idea that they should come at the time where I'm hosting my hockey academy, just to get more footage and a little bit more exciting footage, I guess. And they're like, no, how about this week? And I was like, sure, whatever works for you, And then I knew the awards were kind of being presented around that time, and obviously I knew I was nominated for Lady Byng, and then I figured, I guess it'd be interesting to see if I have a chance or not. And I guess right on that day it was a big surprise to where the kids presented me with the trophy.
I mean, how special was that?
It was special because everybody was there.
Yeah.
My wife set up a golf round with my dad and the two kiddos. So then we're making the turn, and my mom was there, my wife was there, my grandma was there too. So it's like, just everybody was there. It just makes it so much special for being able to share it with everybody. There's such a big part of the journey that I'm on that, sharing with them makes it extra special.
And Lady Byng, this is your third time claiming that. For the most gentlemanly player in this like rough and tumble sport. Break that down. What does that mean, the most gentlemanly player?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I guess, being respectful to your peers, right? Being respectful to the officials. Just present yourself on the ice, really. I mean, it's a contact sport, obviously, but even though there's, you're trying to beat the other team and you're trying to outplay the guy, standing across from you, I think there's still room for a lot of respect and obviously fair play. And I've been brought up in that regard to where it's like, respect if you want to be respected, and I just kind of play by that, I guess.
Who instilled that integrity and that respect?
Just my family, my parents, my grandparents. I think a lot of that comes with the upbringing, and obviously my parents did a great job with that, and now myself being a parent, trying to pass that along to my kids.
So you were back in Bled. How long do you go for?
We go for as long as we can. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so we made it.
You just got back, right?
Yeah, no, we've been back for a month now,
Okay.
but or close to a month. But yeah, we went back for a couple months. It's
Is it a total reset, like just decompress?
Yeah, I'm one of those guys to where I need to change the scenery. Like LA, as much as we like it here, and the kids were born here, and this is year 20 for us. Being here, it's a home away from home, but then at the same time you need a little reset and get away from this madness and the big city. And the city of Bled, I think it's got about 5,000 people, 15,000 people, so it's really tiny, very cozy, and it just kind of gives us a little bit more energy when we go back there.
So I'm pronouncing it wrong. I said Bled. How do you pronounce it?
Bled.
Bled.
Yeah.
So when you go back to Bled,
Yeah.
how are you recognized on the street? I mean, I know it's a small town.
Yes, I still do, but at the same time, me and my wife have lived there for the better part of 13 years now. So just because the city's so small, everybody's used to it now. So
No big deal.
yeah, Anze's going to a grocery store. Oh well, first couple
There
of years.
he is, getting Lady Byng for the third time.
The first couple of years were a little bit, I guess, a little bit more hectic. It was right at the time where we were winning Stanley Cups too. So there was a lot of excitement there, and people weren't quite used to me being out and about in the city. So I guess they were all excited too. But now, like I said, they're used to it, and it's just another thing in the day.
For Bled being such a small town, it's got that rowing facility that trains. I mean, that's like world-class rowing. That's really what Slovenia is known for, right?
Yeah.
In terms of athletics.
Athletics, I think we're a big specimen when it comes to that, because if you look at, I guess, myself being in the NHL for a little bit, Luka being the superstar that he is, soccer, we've made it to a bunch of World Cups too. So it's like it's the versatility. Our ski jumpers are one of the best in the world. Our cyclist Pogacar just won his third or fourth Tour de France. So it's like the versatility of everything. It's amazing for the country that has 2 million people. So it's pretty remarkable.
Growing up, did you ever think about getting into something else, a different sport?
No, my dad played hockey, so hockey was always my first love, so-called. I played a bunch of different sports growing up, but everything took backseat to hockey.
You're like, let me do the most physically challenging.
Yeah, and it wasn't the cheapest sport either.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, it was, like I said, my dad played hockey, and that's all I wanted to do, and luckily it worked out for me.
So I have a map here. I want you to show me on here where Bled is located.
Okay. So this is actually kind of funny story, because everybody that comes over to Slovenia, they want to know where they are and everything. And if you actually look closely, the map of Slovenia kind of looks like a chicken. Like if you think about it, right? Like the head, the little beak, the neck, the 2 legs, whatever. So that's the easiest part to kind of explain it.
A flying chicken, I was told.
A flying chicken, there you go. So I'd like to say that Bled, where it is, it's in the tail. Somebody is making fun that it's in the, the butt area, but I'd like to call it's in the tail. So it's northwest part of the country.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. I brought the map because I wanted to understand the chicken reference.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at it, I didn't quite see it. But when you pointed it out, I think I'll never unsee it.
Yeah, it's one of those. Once you see it, you won't unsee it. And if you make it over there, you can kind of reference on where you're going.
I'll go to the chicken butt for sure.
There you go.
Luka Doncic, I mean, the two of you are just household names, really. And here in Los Angeles, we love our sports superstars. If you're walking down the street here, would you get recognized here? I mean, I have to imagine Luka gets recognized.
Luka takes the cake for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
You've
so.
been here longer.
I have
You've
been
won
longer.
championships here.
True, but I think just basketball in general is bigger in this city than hockey is. Maybe if we go to Canada, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I do get recognized, yeah, but I think Luka takes the cake.
Living here in Los Angeles, beach town, right? Do you think that it's harder for hockey players to live in a warmer climate and in a city like LA where there's a lot of options for entertainment? Because it's, when you're in, Edmonton or you're in Detroit and there's it's colder weather, there's not that much to do, maybe you have more options to keep you outside of the rink, outside of practice.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I mean,
Tell me.
For me, just being here in this spot, I don't know how in the other cities is because luckily enough, I've been here for my whole career. So for me, the hockey season is so long and it's a grind. So it's actually nice to almost get out of the hockey bubble and being able to go to the beach and being able to go to a Laker game or to Disneyland down the road or something just to get your mind off of it. Because otherwise you drive yourself crazy. Versus maybe in a, no knock to Edmonton, but there's not a whole lot going out there, and it's cold and it's gray, and now being older, being warm and sunny outside, it's a lot easier to get out of bed and get your, just your body moving and everything versus negative, I don't know how many degrees and being cold. So. And it's also, I guess on the pressure side of things, right? I mean, I think people in LA are pretty laid back. Yes, they love their sports teams and everything, and they want us to win. But at the same time, if things are not going the way they're supposed to go, they lay off of us. There is pressure, but not immense pressure to where maybe you go into a city like Toronto, if hockey team's not doing great there, it's probably not very fun to be in that city.
Yeah, back to like the warm weather. I mean, it's interesting to me that 5 of the last 6 Stanley Cup champions have come from warm weather cities, with the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Golden Knights in Las Vegas. Do you think that's a strange thing at all, or what does that say to you?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's maybe not your typical hockey market, but all of those markets are growing. I mean, this is 10 plus years ago, but when we were winning here, I mean, LA was a hockey town, it really was. I mean, and if you think about it with the Lakers and the Dodgers and now the football teams here, I think the city gets behind all the sports teams. So, I mean, the place was rocking. You could see all the flags flying and everything. We got recognized a lot more than we do during the regular season. So, I think the hockey in general is growing, even in warm climate cities, which is great to see for our league and the kids growing up. They're more exposed to that. I think every youth program, even maybe in a non-conventional hockey cities, are growing, which is very good to see.
When you're, you said it here, you played your whole career in Los Angeles. Was that something that you thought about when you got drafted and you thought about where you would play through the journey of your career? Did you imagine that you'd be in one place? I think it's so special when athletes can say they were in one place.
I do, I'm very proud of that I've stayed in one place. Obviously, loyalty is one thing. Performance is the other thing, just to be able to stay, right? So, I've been able to perform over the course of 20 years to team to want me to stay here, which is great. I mean, like I said, this is home away from home. My 2 kids were born here. You know, my wife has lived here for 18 years now, so it's we're obviously very familiar with this city. And then on the flip side, I mean, have I ever thought to stay in one city for this long? I wasn't really sure at first that I'm going to make it to the NHL. I mean, it's every little hockey player's dream to make it to the NHL, but then it's about getting drafted, and it's about making the team and staying and just proving yourself over and over again, which I guess I've been able to do, and I'm very proud of that.
I mean, you should be, and I think it's so rare when guys can stay. I mean, Kopi did it. It's so rare when a player stays for not just his entire career, but like you said, this will be your 20th year. It's right, 20th year.
20th, yeah.
That's like hell. Whoa, right?
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
I mean, looking back, it's pretty surreal now. You know, I played my first game in Anaheim, which was in '06. And now it's 20 years later, and
did it go by in a blink of an eye, or?
Yes, it kind of did.
Yeah.
Actually, now for sure. I mean, when I first got here, Rod Blake was one of my teammates, and then obviously he's not with the team anymore. But I mean, to think that you're teammates with the guy, and then he's your boss, you know, a few years later, it's kind of surreal how quick everything goes.
Mentioning that, I wanted to get into the new general manager, who is Ken Holland. In his first year here, he's in the Hall of Fame as a builder, but it's a new boss, right? Your resume speaks for itself. I mean, your character, who you are, your performance on the ice, it's all there. It's all easy to find. But when you have a new boss coming in, do you feel like, I got to show this guy what I can do?
I mean, I think you got to try and get better each and every day anyways. You know, you're trying to improve, whether that's on the ice, whether there's leadership skills, whether that's, you know, helping young kids, being more comfortable, being more present, all of that. And yeah, Ken, his resume also speaks for itself. I mean, he's Stanley Cup winning GM. He's built powerhouses in Detroit, and you know, hopefully he's going to help us take another step here.
The last few years, I mean, last year too, do you feel like, I mean, you've been on those Cup teams, and they don't seem like that they were that long ago, you know?
But they are.
They're, you know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the team is moving in the right direction?
Yeah, I think so.
It seems like it.
I mean, it's easy to look last 4 years and being bumped in the first round, but I really truly believe that you know, we're taking steps in the right direction. I mean, the young guys are developing. We're, I guess, me and Drew being the older guys are still around and can still perform, and you know, I think we're definitely trending in the right direction.
Talk to me about Quinton Byfield. It seems like he's made some major progress.
Yeah, I mean, Q had a great season 2 years ago, and he was still playing on the left wing with me and Adrian. And then last year he took a huge step to be so-called in charge of his own line, playing in the middle, and you know, he did great. Obviously, as a young guy, you're going to have some struggles. We all had them. I mean, there's very, very few players that didn't have any struggles, and I'm sure he's learned from it. I'm sure he's going to come back bigger, faster, stronger this year, and going to have a better year than last year.
You talk about guys that, you know, everyone struggles in all aspects. What players, though, do you watch in the game today and you're like, oh, they're fun to watch? Do you tap into like the little boy who grew up loving to watch hockey when you watch any of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, being a dad, it's a little hard to sit down and watch actual games
like, I
all
don't
the
have
time.
time.
Yeah, we're being stretched too in very few directions. But no, I mean, I really admire Sidney Crosby, how he can still do it. I mean, he's 38 years old now, and he can still perform at a level. Obviously, you know, the McDavids, the Draisaitl's, the McKinnons, the Kucherovs, those are all world-class players. But maybe Sidney, like I said, being a little bit older and still perform at the level that he does, it's remarkable.
You're a veteran, you play in the game highest level. Are summers at this point easier for you or harder for you?
They're easier in the regard to where I know what I have to do. They're harder in regard because it takes more and longer to where I need to be. So it's, it's a grind. It really is. You gotta train your body in 3 months to withstand 82 plus games a year. And especially this year with the Olympic break coming up, everything's going to be more condensed. So, the rest, relaxation, recovery, everything's going to be magnified now just to be ready each and every night.
What are you religious about when it comes to, your training and your preparation?
I mean, just getting ready every day. I mean, it's a longer process now than it was 10 years ago. Like I say, you gotta do it. If you want to perform, you gotta, it's essentially our job that I absolutely love, but it takes me longer now in the morning to get the body moving and, to get on the ice. But I love doing it, and I'm gonna keep on doing it.
I would never ask you to break news on this podcast, but people talk about pending retirement at some point, right? Where is that in your brain?
I mean, if I said I didn't think about it, I'd be lying for sure. I've been thinking about it. Not everything is quite decided yet, but this could be my last season in the NHL. Yes.
How does that feel to say that?
I mean, it's bittersweet. This is hockey is something that I've known for all of my life. It's my first love, and it's been a big part of my life and my family's life and everything. But at the same time, my kids will be 11 and 9 years old. It's just at the time where they need their dad around a lot more than I would be playing hockey. So it's something that they've sacrificed a bunch. I've missed a bunch of holidays, a bunch of birthdays, a bunch of recitals in school, a bunch of games, a bunch of figure skating competitions, and there comes time where you say, this is enough. I've done my part, and I want to be a dad now, and it's definitely creeping in my mind. But even if this is the last year, I'll give it my very best and leave it all out there.
I have no doubt. You talk about the camp that you hold back in your hometown. Would you maintain a presence in the hockey world? Would you get into coaching at some point? Would you?
I haven't thought about it that far.
Okay. Good to know.
Coaches, from what I see now, probably log in more hours than players do, so probably not right away.
Coach will appreciate you saying that, by the way.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure down the road I'll get bored and miss hockey enough to where I'll probably want to come back. But at the same time, like I said, I would want to be a dad to where the kids grow up, and I want to be a part of this chapter of their lives.
Yeah. Over the course of 20 years, how have you seen hockey change?
Oof, it's quite drastically, actually. When I first got here, the league was bigger, tougher, stronger, much slower, and now it's a lot of skill. It's very fast, and for me, sometimes hard to keep up. So no, but it's a ton of skill, a lot more skill now. And again, no disrespect to any of the older players that have played, years and years ago. It was still a hard league and hard to win, just like it is now. But it has changed to where skill is more, I guess, predominant now than it was throughout the lineup of each team than it was, 15, 20 years ago.
You mentioned during those two Stanley Cup runs, the city and the flags and the support of the community. I mean, you drive around town and there are murals on the sides of buildings, and there are a lot of people that have memories of being at a bar and the cup comes in and they're like getting pictures with you guys. I mean, to have that sort of imprint on a community, on a city, like how special is that for you? I mean,
Yeah, I still think in obviously 2012, which would have been the first cup in franchise history, and when you do the signings or the team events and everything, and there's a lot of people that come up to you and know exactly where they were, exactly which hour, exactly who scored, like who did they high five right after. I mean, obviously it meant a lot to us because majority of us were, winning the Stanley Cup for the first time, but to really have the city behind you, like LA gets behind, every winning team. I'm sure there's no different with Dodgers and the Lakers and, the Rams when they won. So it actually gives me goosebumps, and it's pretty surreal. And, it means that we're a big part of this community and a big part of this city.
we win one 2 years later.
Yeah.
Is it like, we could do this? This is easy.
Yeah, I mean, but then at the same time, it was like complete opposite of, I guess, going through the playoffs, right? Because in 12, we're up 3-0 in every series. And in 14, we start 0-3. And you got to climb back and win all the game sevens and everything, and all the overtime games, even in the finals. So it was, I guess, the polar opposite of winning in 12 and winning in 14. So maybe in 14 was maybe even a little bit more satisfying because it was so much harder.
I was just going to ask you that. I mean, in 12, to be part of the first one in franchise history is unbelievable, but to have to go through the harder adversity to get that second one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're all lucky because we got to experience, maybe a little bit easier one and then the very hard one. And, I think majority of us would appreciate the a lot hard one a lot more. So it's, I guess for the rest of our lives, we can tell stories how they were and how they differentiate.
When you do tell stories about those times, I mean, what do you remember about those teams and what was special about it?
Yeah, like I said, in 12, what was special about that team is what about 20 games left in the season. We're very much on the outside looking into the playoff picture, and we had to go, I think it was 14-6 just to get into the playoffs. So we squeak in as an 8 seed, and then we go on this run to, like I said before, we were up 3-0 in every series. So it's like...
When you're winning like that, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to just be unstoppable?
But we were in a zone. I mean, it's hard to explain that, but you're in a zone. You just keep on going. You can't wait for the next game to come. And it was like a train that you couldn't really stop, So we just kept going and going and going, and eventually we won the cup, right? But 14, it's the other way around, right? You're severely behind the 8 ball in the first round, and then second round you're playing the rival with Anaheim, high emotions, and then conference finals you're playing against Chicago, who just knocked you out the year before, and they go win on the Cubs, so you want to beat them. And then ultimately in the finals you're playing New York, and it's New York against LA. It's East Coast, West Coast, right? The biggest rivalries, and we were able to win that. So it's like two different stories with the same result, and it's obviously both tons of fun.
Fun to be a part of, but also so much fun for everyone else to watch. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much, Anze. Really nice to see you, and I appreciate the storytelling.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much.